A secret love letter, bound by our first kiss. The whisper of a soul. My love, tonight the world sleeps, but my heart stays awake only for you. I write, not with ink, but with the trembling pulse of my veins. Every drop of blood, spelling your name. You're not here besides me, yet your presence floods my silence. You're not holding me, yet my soul feels folded in your arms still. I close my eyes and I see only the memory of your smile, the warmth of your nearness, the secret that binds us beyond the word. Even in your absence, you are the music in my chest, the echo in my breath, the light behind my eyelids. I tell myself, this is no ordinary love. This is the love written before time, the love attached in the skin of destiny. And though tonight distance stretches like a desert between us, my soul runs across its sands, carrying only one truth, that I am yours, and I have always been yours. So listen closely, my beloved, for what I whisper here is not just memory, it is a confession carved out of eternity. I belong to you, and no universe can change that. My love, I still remember that first moment when our eyes collide in a crowd and the universe bent itself into silence. So many people around us, so many voices rising and falling. But in that instant, the only sound I heard was your heartbeat, though your chest was far away. I was a girl, untouched by love, unmarked by fire, a quiet soul who thought she knew herself. But when you entered, and suddenly I was a stranger to my own reflection. Your eyes, they carried storms and oceans, and yet they softened when they looked at me, as if you had always known to me and had finally found me again. I felt threads of silk tighten around me, invisible, delicate, unbreakable. I did not resist them. I could not. For the first time in my life, my heart forgot to obey me. It began to beat for you, to live for you, to dream of only you. I had never been kissed. My lips were untouched roses, sleeping beneath morning dew. But the way you looked at me, it was as if you were the sun, and I could not help but open. The air between us grew heavy, charged, alive. I could feel it, that something was coming, something that would change everything, and I was helplessly ready. Then you leaned closer, the world busy, unaware, and in a voice low enough for only me, you whispered words that melted my knees. I want to kiss you, my love. Even before your lips touched mine, you had already kissed my soul. My love, I will never forget that moment, not even if centuries pass, not even if lifetimes bury me under silence. The hall was alive with laughter, with friends and strangers, with footsteps echoing against the walls. Yet for me, the whole world dimmed into shadows. There were people everywhere, Yet suddenly, there were only two souls left in existence, you and me. You reached for me, not with force, not with urgency, but with gentleness that unrevealed me thread by thread. Your hands, though they did not hold me tightly, carried a gravity that pulled me closer than the earth itself. I felt my breath stumble. I felt my heart surrender. And in that surrender, I was not afraid. You leaned in, the distance between us shrinking. Every inch a lifetime, every heartbeat a promise. And then our lips touched, soft, unhurried, barely a kiss at all. Yet in that stolen fragment of time, my entire universe collapsed into you. It was my first kiss. I had never known that it meant to lose myself so completely in that state, and in the taste of another soul. Your lips were honey, sweet, endless. They carried the fragrance of flowers blooming in hidden gardens, and when they pressed against mine, I felt heaven breathing through me. My eyes fell shut, not because I chose to, but because the word had vanished. Time ceased to matter. The noise of the hall dissolved, and I was held prisoner by eternity. That kiss was not just lips meeting lips. It was spirit colliding with spirit. It was destiny writing itself across my skin. In that one small kiss, you had bound me forever. I was yours, and there was no return. Then you kissed my forehead after. Oh, my love, it was not just a kiss. It was a seal, a vow, a crown placed upon me. It whispered, "You are mine, not just for today, not just for this moment, but for always." I stood there, silenced, trembling, whole, and yet more incomplete without you than ever before. My love, after that kiss, the world rushed back like a tide. The laughter of friends, the chatter of voices, the footsteps echoing, they all returned. Yet I no longer belonged to them. You stepped away, you returning to your circle, I to mine. Two bodies separated, but one soul still trembling in the air between us. I watched you sit among your friends, your face calm, almost untouched, as if nothing extraordinary had happened. But I knew better. I knew you were carrying the same fire I was burning in. I sat among my friends too, their voices drifting around me like distant waves. I nodded when they spoke. I smiled when they laughed. But inside, I was lost in the echo of your lips. Then, your eyes found mine. Across the hall, across the laughter and noise, your gaze pierced me. It was soft, but it stuck. It struck me like lightning. It was quiet, yet it screamed louder than any voice. In that moment, I realized something deeper than desire, more powerful than passion. You were not just a boy I loved. You were the missing piece of my existence. You were the cloud whose rain healed the cracks of my thirsty desert. You were the waterfall that carved through mountains just to reach the hollow of my soul. You were the rainbow that spread its colors even in burning sunlight. You were the shade of the lone tree in the wilderness of my heart, not only shelter for my body, but rest for my spirit. I looked at you and I thought, this is it. This is the man my soul has been searching for since before I knew myself. Every story I had read, even dream I had dreamed, every prayer I had whispered, they all came alive in your gaze. The world did not notice, but I did, and so did you. That silent meeting of eyes was louder than the kiss itself, because that was the moment I knew the kiss could fade from lips, but the bond between souls was carved into eternity. My love, after that day, nothing inside me was the same. I carried your kiss in my chest like a secret flame that never dimmed. But more than that kiss, it was the truth your presence unveiled. You're not just my lover, you're my soul's missing half. I looked at my life, at the years behind me, at the empty spaces within me, and suddenly I understood why I had always felt incomplete. It was because I was waiting for you. You are the cloud, heavy with mercy, whose rain fell upon my desert heart. Each drop seeped into the cracks of my dryness, softening me, greening me, bringing life where death had lived for years. You are the waterfall, fierce and unstoppable, breaking through the mountains of my fear. You carved a path through stones, through walls I had built, and you rushed into me with the wild beauty of freedom. You are the rainbow, not fleeting, not fragile, but eternal. Even in my storms, even in the blazing heat of life, you stretched across my sky, pouring colors into my grayness. You are the tree, tall and unshaken, rooted in the soil of destiny, in the wilderness of my heart. You became my only shade, not just shelter for my weary body, but peace for my restless spirit. And I was the desert, thirsty and cracked. I was the mountain, silent and unbroken. I was the storm, colorless and heavy. I was the wilderness, lonely and bare. But then you came, and I was no longer desert. I bloomed. I was no longer mountain. I opened. I was no longer storm. I found my rainbow. I was no longer wilderness. I found my home beneath your shade. My love, this is why I cannot forget you. Because you are not just a man I loved. You are the other half of my soul. You are the answer to every emptiness I ever carried inside me. And though the world may not see it, though distance may rise between us, though silence may stretch its hands to separate us, I know the truth that cannot be undone. I'm yours, and you are mine, from the first kiss until eternity itself folds away. But that kiss, it was not the end. It was only the beginning. Tomorrow, I will tell you the rest of our story. The story of love is not complete here. Part 2 continues tomorrow. Will you return to feel it? Thank you for watching. Keep watching The Desert Voice.